Hi everyone, it's Rax, and as promised, we only put in 1,000 Paragon points, and this is the very first key that I opened at GR135 to test it out, and as you can see, we are going to absolutely annihilate this. As you see, we can pretty much one pop a blue. We missed one of those little goat guys, but the rest of them got pretty much annihilated. So yeah, this build is... a lot of people have been discussing, since this is 6 pieces of Talrashas and 4 pieces of Firebirds, is Firebirds really the problem here? And does Firebirds deserve a nerf? Does Talrashas deserve a nerf? Or is it the interaction between them? So we're going to have to see how they deal with this. I would like them to find a solution that doesn't nerf pure Firebirds, because I don't think that that is overpowered. And I also don't want them to nerf Talrashas, because Talrashas by itself is also not overpowered. So we're going to have to see what kind of changes they come up with. One thing that I've learned historically in the past is gamers are very good at identifying problems, right? But they aren't necessarily the best people at identifying solutions. Sometimes they are, but not all the time. So as I get into huge trouble right here, I just get murdered. The Firebirds proc is not very good. I wish they would look into that and make it slightly better than what it is. As I get procced again instantly and one-shotted by the Thunderstorm instantly. Maybe we could take a look at the Firebirds proc and make it a little bit better. Anyway, to go back to what I was talking about, the PTR is a very good opportunity for a lot of us to identify the problems, right? This build is probably too strong, although if you ask me, go ahead and just release it. Let's have some fun for one season and everybody play Wizard and just destroy. But they aren't always the best at providing the solutions. And, we don't know exactly what it's like to be a developer and to balance everything. So I'm going to leave it up to Blizzard to find out, whatever solution they want to implement for their game. But yeah, I don't know. The more I play this build, the more I get used to it. It's kind of fun. This is probably, other than Chantoto Veer, is probably the most fun Wizard build that I've played. So I'm not going to be mad at all if they release it in its busted form just like this. Anyway, let's continue on with only 1,000 Paragon. You can absolutely do this. We're doing a 135. We don't get the best rift in the world. Again, it was just the first key that I opened. But if you actually fished here, you could do at least a GR140, and honestly probably even higher at just 1,000 Paragon. So you don't have to devote your life to Diablo to get pretty much near the top of what the game has to offer with this build. So we throw some frozen orbs, we destroy everything, and we move on forward. Just want to encourage that yellow to come with me. And as long as we aren't chain dying to the elites like we did a couple screens ago, we should be just fine. So I throw some orbs back at the yellow, always aiming at the elites. The trash will die naturally. Even if you miss the trash, it doesn't matter at all. They will die eventually, so always try to aim at the elites. So here comes our cold cycle. I poured away. Wish I could have went a little bit further than that. But that's all right. And we run forward here. We add another blue to the pack. The cultists will follow us, and they should die quite easily. Again, I'm still going to be aiming for that Fallen Master whenever I can. There's the port. I go for the Fallen Master, and he gets erased out of existence. Super strong, super strong. And throwing these frozen orbs is a little blast from the past from Diablo 2. I can't wait for Diablo 2 Resurrected. Are you guys going to blast that game as well? I hope so. So we go to the other side. We throw it at the cultists. The zombies are dead. We only have the cultists left. Kind of the issue here is I need to get away from them when I throw these frozen orbs. I want my frozen orb explosion to land on top of them. So I pour it away. And of course, they run right toward me, exactly what I didn't want them to do. That makes me very sad. But maybe we can get the aggro to come on our follower with any kind of luck. And then we can kill them. Here comes cold. We go away. The cultist runs up there for some lucky reason. Perfect. And as you can see, even with a couple of deaths, even without the best map, even without any helpful pylons, we have double the bar. It's just way too easy. It's just way too easy. Anyway, we have a terrible follow-up, which is actually a good thing. It's good for demonstration purposes. So I'm okay with just killing the trash right here. I'm just going to wait for my halfway through arcane. I'm going to pour it away and throw all my orbs during cold, hopefully in the Oculus ring. And we wiped out the entire room, no problem. Got a nice big room here with porkies. We got a power. That's going to be overkill. The NEMs on the follower from Emanate really help. Halfway through arcane. Oh, got one-shotted by the spear guys. Ouch. That was going to be a really good hit. That's okay. We're in cold right now, so I throw some arcane orbs. Don't really have time to set anything up. Still does a good job of massacring half of the room. So on this next round, it should be quite good. We're halfway through arcane here. We throw the orbs, and the entire room is dead. The only thing left alive, I believe, is the yellow scorpion. Yes, there he is. So let's see if we can take him out here. Port's right next to me, so I go away. I have the orbs land right on top of him, and you can see the amount of damage that it does. Did you see there that I just procced to a little poison pool right there? That goes back to what I was talking about in the previous video. If your shields are down, you are like a graham cracker. You can die to anything. That's probably, for me at least, the biggest thing to learn about this build is it's a little bit squishy. I don't really like to play squishy builds. I don't like to chain die. That's not very fun. So that's why I pick up magic weapon deflection, whereas a lot of other people try to play with black hole absolute zero. If you are a super experienced wizard and you are good at just dodging everything and you don't mind playing with that playstyle, of course, go for black hole. You're going to be able to deal more damage. But I'd rather just stay alive way more often and have a much more comfy time. So that's why I go for magic weapon. Okay, we got Mufasa. He's still alive. We'll drag him forward. I'm just waiting for the next cold cycle to come. Halfway through arcane, we pour it away. We throw all the orbs so they land on top of him, and he gets deleted. Super easy mode. Could definitely go higher here. But I know you guys sometimes see my Paragon level, and you're like, well, what would it be like at the lower Paragons? You know, the Paragon level is just, you know, a damage scaler or a damage multiplier, right? So, you know, if you ever see someone with super high gons doing, you know, a really high tier or whatever, you know, you can do a little bit of math and just say, okay, if we subtract this many tiers, it's pretty much going to be the same thing. There is some survivability to it. Obviously, when you get a lot of main stat, you have more all resist on a wizard or more armor on other classes. But pretty much it's just the same thing. So I can take out all my Paragon levels and turn it down 15 tiers, which is probably way too much, and essentially just do the same thing. Okay, well, we got the Guardian. I don't need to fish for a pylon for the Guardian. I'm sure it's going to be quite easily. And we have Mr. Hamlin. Okay, halfway through Arcane, you get away. Make sure that the Frozen Orb lands on top of him. We deal pretty significant damage right there. Now watch this next hit. It's going to be, I believe this next hit is going to be absolutely bonkers. Let's see if I have it right. So we move away. We throw everything on top of him. Of course, I'm wrong. It's the next hit. I apologize. It's the next hit, I think, that's going to destroy him. Anyway, guys, let's see what happens with the fate of Towels and Firebirds. Right now, the interaction between them is way too strong. Jump in the Aki. Watch Hamlin's health. Sayonara. See you guys in the next video.